How different is this camp for you being fully healthy? Because you go back to your first year here in Philly, you suffered the shoulder injury. You're rehabbing from the surgery last training camp. What's it like being fully healthy this time around?
It's a lot more fun. Just I ain't gotta go through no injuries, nothing that's really serious. Just other things I can just fight through. But it's really fun. Just being the president, just really getting my body right, and just being out there, just building chemistry with the guys, and just having fun.
You mentioned chemistry with the guys. Carson's also fully healthy. So how important is that you two are fully healthy so that you can get things clicking early and often throughout the season?
It means a lot. It's real good that we can just talk about a few things what he sees, but not only me, just everyone out there. We all can communicate and just do things differently and just talk about the defense.
What's it like being part of such a star-studded group like the one you have now with you and D-Jax and Nelly and bringing in guys like JJ to the mix as well?
I wouldn't say that we star-studded. I just think that I'll leave that up to you guys to be judged. But we just hungry. We just want to play football, win a championship. That's all we care about, man. Whatever comes with it, we'll take, but most importantly, I want to go just win a championship.
It's funny you say it because Carson Walsh says how you guys don't care about the numbers, that your main focus is come here to win games and build on your legacy.
That's all it's about, man. That's what we want. I mean, I love Philly. I know everyone in our room, in the receiver room, we love Philly. We talk about all the time. Winning a championship, doing something special in Philly. Why not?
How much hunger are you winning it and then getting so close last year and then knowing you have the talent back to do it again this year?
I mean, last year is what it is. I look at it, what it meant for us to win. But this year, made the best man win, the best team win.
Where do you think that you've improved the most since you've come here to Philadelphia as a receiver?
I just think that just talking a lot more. I think early on in my career, I was just always just quiet, just always just stayed to myself. Not saying I just always just been a quiet person, but just talking a lot more.
Do you feel like you're at the point in your career where you have to take that leadership role and mentor the young guys?
I mean, I'm always a person, you just got to lead by example, so you don't really got to talk about the leadership, just being a talker. Just lead by example, just go out and do the work and just everyone to see how hard you work and the work you put in and the results.
Is it a situation where you want to make sure there's a standard that's set in that wide receiver room and you want to make sure everyone lives up to that?
Yeah, so when I'm long gone, when I come back to visit and bring my kids, the standard's still being set.
You want to make sure that your picture's up there with all the highlights and everything from your illustrious career?
I mean, whoever's up there, it's all a blessing. We all have our time, so it's all fun.
What are you seeing from Carson? You know, him being healthy. You're seeing anything different from him in his training camp?
He's just having fun, just letting it fly, just having guys like me, D-Jack, Nelly, Zach, the O-line doing their thing, Dallas. Just everyone who's ever out there just pitching catch, just having fun doing it.
What does D-Jack bring to the room?
D-Jack, that's my guy. D-Jack funny. He just bring energy. His presence, just energy, and just having fun. Just his biggest thing is always making the guys believe they can believe and living up to who they is, and just work at it and just. I don't know what to say. I just know that
you're excited.
He always just say, just believe in yourself. I mean, that's how I look at things. But his motto, he talk a lot more. So me and him think alike a little bit, but he preach some of the same things I be trying to tell the guys, but he just get it to them better. I mean, a better delivery and message.
In terms of Carson Walsh, what has he brought to the wide receiver room? I know you've worked with him for years past, so you kind of have a better understanding of how he goes about things, but what has he brought being the main guy in the room this year?
I think that he just understands where we're coming from as far as players and just being around me and just getting to know other guys and just understanding what players need and what it takes for us to get better.
Is there a swagger back in that room with you healthy again, with D-Jack back in there? Does it seem like the chemistry is right like it was 2 years ago?
I don't think we ever lost the swagger. I just think that just injuries and things just happen during the time. But if it's any swagger that we got, I think it's 100 times better than 2017.
All that work after practice, just how much does that go into fine-tuning the little details and finding the extra edge to give yourself a chance out here on the field?
It's big for me, especially after missing last season. I'm a ways behind, really. Every day I got to get, if everybody's doing one step closer, I have to get 2 or 3 because I missed a big chunk of last year and wasn't able to stay at the same level as I was. So to me, every day is me climbing back up that mountain, trying to get us back to a Super Bowl. So whatever it takes, little things, big things, whatever it is, it'll help.
Where do you think you're at?
I think I'm going in the right direction. That's what's most important to me. Like Coach P says, don't count the days, make days count. You know, it's kind of cliche, but when you really think about it, everything you do, whether it's eating a meal, looking at your phone, whatever it is, focus on what you're doing. Be where your feet are. So that's been big for me, and as long as we're going in the right direction, I'm happy.
Toward the end of practice, you blew by a defender down the sideline. Yeah. Was that a moment where you kind of feel like, you know what, it's all coming together, it's finally coming back for you?
A little bit. You know, it's fun always when you can, you know, let the wheels turn a little bit. So especially for me, because they haven't been turning for a while, they've been in the shop, but now they're out on the road and spinning. It's good to have that feeling.
How would you describe last year if you had to summarize it?
Obviously, it was frustrating, you know, to be in a spot where you can't play and compete, because that's all. From a kid, that's all you've done. You've competed, you've played football, you don't know what it's like not to play. But looking at it now, there's a lot of things I learned. Taking care of my body, eating the right things, you know, warming up, doing post-recovery stuff. And when you're young, you don't think about that stuff. You can just, all right, you guys ready to go? Or, you know, we don't need stretching when you're young. But as you get older, you got to realize, you kind of see the older guys. And when you come in the league, you wonder why they're doing all this stuff. And now I kind of luckily got it earlier in my career rather than later, you know, when my body was too old to recover. So I learned a lot from it, which was kind of enlightening. So a little bit of frustration, a little bit of enlightenment. So,
how much did you miss the game?
Oh, you miss a lot. I mean, that's what you play for. Guys don't come try to make it to the NFL so they can practice. Nobody says, I want to play on Monday through Thursday. They want to play Sunday nights. You know what I mean? It's not to practice. You play the game to play the game, not to practice. So missing the games is big, especially being out with your teammates. That's what, if you ask anybody about that's played in the NFL or any professional league, they don't tell you stories about a game. They tell you about their teammates and how this dude was doing this in the locker room or stuff like that. So you miss your teammates. You miss being out there because it's different. If you're not out there, you're not out there.
Speaking of teammates, got a revamped wide receiver room.
Yeah.
Bringing in Deshaun, drafting JJ.
Yeah.
What has that room been like?
It's been great. I think it's been awesome. You know, we get one spectrum and the other. You know, we get a rookie and a guy that's 12, 13-year vet. So, you know, in my mind, you're never too old to learn, you're never too young to teach, kind of thing. Where, you know, JJ has stuff to bring to the table, and obviously Deshaun has a whole bunch of stuff that he brings, and just enlighten the guys and really give them stuff that you can't learn unless you've done it, unless you've experienced it, and he's experienced every defense possible, every corner possible, every route possible, and he can bring little things that you would never even think of unless you've played the game.
And what are some of the things that JJ brings, being a rookie?
A lot of it is like, you know, that rookie tenacity that you forget about how hard it is, and hey, I'm trying to prove myself, and that's big. And I think that's what's so special about any professional league is there's always new guys coming in that are hungry to, you know, take your spot, and you're always ready to push, and helps you push. So he's big on that, and he's really been great just learning the stuff, picking up on stuff really quickly, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
How close do you think you are to getting a preseason game?
I think I'm real close. You know, if not this one, then the next one for sure. So it just depends on, you know, working with the doctors, working with me, making sure everything's working in the right direction, not to push too hard. You know, it's like they say, it's a real long season.
Is it hard not to think ahead?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to not want to. I mean, as a player, competitor, you're thinking about February and Super Bowl in Miami, like who are we playing? But you got to take a step back and remember, you know, I was lucky enough to be in the 2017 team where you wouldn't know who you were playing 2 weeks from the day. You know, you'd only know your next opponent. You only know the next guy. You only know the next practice. And when you think about it one step at a time, it's much easier to, you know, be successful.
Last question, how are you feeling with that number 16?
I feel good. M16, you know what I mean? I'm good with it. I think Deshaun obviously has a reason to rock that number. So I was glad I could rock for a little bit, get my Super Bowl out of it. But it's a number to me. It don't really matter.
What are your thoughts on how your camp has been so far to date?
I feel like it's been pretty good. I like to be a little bit more consistent, but just got to body's not always going to feel the best, so you just got to push through that. So that's something I'm working on, just being consistent every day.
When you say being consistent, what aspects of your game are you trying to be more consistent with?
Just having low pad level and stuff like that. Deuce, he stays on me about having low pad level, so I just want to keep being consistent with that.
Is that tough being a bigger back?
I definitely feel like it's tough when you're a taller back because you got to get even lower. And the short guys, they don't have to get as low, so it's easy for them to get their pass down.
So you're pointing out guys like Sproles and Boston Scott?
Sproles and Boston, yeah.
What's the running back room been like? You know, you coming in with your first year here with this camp.
It's been great. The guys have been great. They welcome me in with open arms, and we just been rolling. We all competing, trying to make each other better. So we got a fun group.
What are the things that you pick up from Deuce? You know, someone who's had a lot of success as a player himself in this league.
One thing, he's always going to keep the mood light, always going to joke around, make sure we have a good time. But when we work, we're definitely going to work. And then he's just teaching me even more new things. Like, I learn everything. I learn new things every year I've been in the league, and I'm just learning more, adding more tools to my box.
How different is this camp than the ones you had previously in Chicago?
I feel like it's a lot different. Practices are a lot shorter than what I was doing in Chicago, but we're still getting a lot of work done in a shorter time.
You talk about keeping your body fresh. What are the things that you learned to do over the years as a veteran to kind of maintain yourself?
You just got to get in the cold tub. I just tell you, even when you're feeling good, you still got to do stuff because just because you're feeling good doesn't mean you can just relax that day.
What do you think of the possibilities of you and Miles working there in the backfield together with the way that your skill sets complement one another?
I feel like the possibilities are endless. We both are very two talented running backs, and he can do a lot of things. I can do a lot of things, and it's going to give the defense a lot to account for, along with the rest of the offense.
You feel good about your role as you look forward to the season?
Yeah, whatever role they would need me to play to help the team out, I'm going to accept that and just do the best I can.
You got a couple of reps, 3 carries in your preseason debut against the Titans. Do you feel like you need a lot more work, or are you pretty much ready to put the pads on and get the regular season rolling?
I feel like I need a little bit more work, just knock a little rust off, because in camp we haven't been doing that much live tackling stuff. So just get tackles to the ground a little bit more, and then I feel like I'll be ready to go.
Is there a certain part of your game that you relish? Do you relish that physical part more than anything else, being able to dish out punishment?
Yeah, I definitely like that part, because after you give out so much punishment for so long in the game, they don't want to tackle you anymore.
And are you looking forward to being the closer, so to speak, in the fourth quarter? When you guys got the lead, you need to ice it, that they can give you the rock and you can kind of just finish things off?
Yeah, I've been doing that like all my life playing football, so if they need me to do that, I'd be more than glad to do that.
How comfortable are you in this offense right now?
Yeah, obviously I'm not as experienced as Nate and Carson. Haven't been in it that long, but I think each day it just feels better and better. Today, made some better throws and plays I've ran before that I really understand the read. So it was nice to be able to get the ball out quicker too and kind of understand what you're trying to accomplish on each play and what each play is built for in the different coverages.
Obviously, a big storyline this weekend into Jacksonville here is going to be Nick Foles. As a backup, do you look at Nick's story at all, and does it give you any inspiration and certainly reinforce? I always.
Yeah. Just talking to Nick when I was in Jacksonville, Nick, for a couple weeks. We're in the same agency too, so I've known him before. But those 3-4 weeks I was with him, I really kind of clung to him and kind of followed him around and listened to things he said and really took notes and paid attention to it. And a guy who's had his ups and downs in this league, as a lot of us do. But yeah, he's been amazing. His faith and his relationship with the Lord is something that is inspiring to me too. And he's really talked me through that whole transition from Jacksonville even before I knew I was coming here. He was kind of one of the first ones to call me that day that it happened, and then just kind of talked me through everything. And then when he found out I was coming here, obviously he was excited for me. So he's definitely someone I look up to and I'm excited to see again.
Did he tell you anything about Philly?
Yeah. He obviously before we knew anything was going to happen, we all kind of got to know each other when we first got there, and some of the new guys that were there too. And he told his story and how much Philly meant to him and how special this place was. And everything he said was spot on. And I've been here a short while, but just the city and the team and the guys and the whole organization as a whole has really embraced me and has been amazing. And I've just been so fortunate to be here for the short time I have.
How about the fact that he's a guy that was pretty much ready to walk away from the game, and to see how that changed his whole career change?
Yeah. He told me that the stories about how his ups and downs and where he struggled with some of that and stuff. But it's something that I wouldn't say all of us, but majority of people go through. When there's challenges and stuff, there's different ways you're going to attack it and face it. And he's one of those guys you look at and kind of gives you that inspiration. Is if there's adversity strikes, okay, look what Nick did. Look how certain different guys went through things and how they get through it, and kind of gives you that little extra motivation.
How's the team kind of embraced you now, stepping into that number 2 role? And there's, obviously got fans clamoring, they got to get another arm in here. Talk about the way the team's kind of,
No, they've been great. They've been the same. This team is awesome. It doesn't matter if you're the starter all the way down to practice squad or a new guy trying to make the roster or anything. These guys, it really is a family environment in the locker room and on the field. And the only thing really different was, with being the 2-0 line and kind of getting on the same page with them. But I felt like these last 3 practices have gone really well and really fluid, and it felt like we kind of just picked up where I kind of got and started with the threes and stuff, so it's been nice.
Cody, not to belabor the Jacksonville thing, but you won a couple games there last year. Is it going to be a little bit weird going back there?
No, I if anything, it's and I have no bad blood there. Obviously I was only there for a year, and everyone there treated me great, and obviously we had a tough year and things didn't go as planned, but I've made a lot of great relationships there and a lot of good friends, so I'm excited to see those guys, but it's also I'm going to know the environment. I've played there before, so kind of going to a away stadium, know the environment, know how it's going to be there, and if anything, I hope I feel comfortable when I'm there, just because I played, a couple games there last year.
What are the things by game 2 in the preseason you want to work on? What are the things that you want to?
Yeah, I think just continuing to master the offense. Obviously not every single play is going to be in, but the game plan we have, continue to study it. Take that in and make sure I know every play that we're running this week, and understand exactly what to do, different checks, different reads. And obviously that's still taking time to get all of that, but feeling a lot more comfortable with it. So I'm looking forward to kind of showing that Thursday.
Is there any change to your approach just based on how the depth chart has shifted a little bit? Or
No, not at all. No, you can't. I mean, it's just another opportunity, another game, and you don't know how many you're going to get in this league, so you want to take advantage of everyone.
You try not to look at the numbers game in the backfield. I mean, there's Darren, there's Josh Howard, there's Jordan Howard, there's Sam. I mean, it's pretty deep. And Wendell too. And you try to not focus on it.
I mean, I think it's in anywhere you go, it's always going to be deep. It's always going to be competition. There was a lot of guys here, last year in the running back room. But the great thing about that is guys were able to compete with each other and make each other better. So great thing about having our room is you have the best of the best, and it gives you a chance to kind of test yourself and compete with those other guys while helping everybody get better.
Does last year help, having gone through it so much and getting a lot of meaningful carries down the stretch?
I think the experience helped. I think the experience helped me prepare for this camp and prepare for the road going down. Last year was last year. This is a new year, new scenarios, new opportunities. So each and every game practice, I'm going to try my best to take advantage of the role that I'm put in.
Last year, I mean, it is last year, but you led the team in rushing, so you've kind of shown that you can play. Do you feel like that?
Again, last year it was just me trying to, step up and prove myself. And again, this year it's a new year, so whatever happened last year is already gone and paid for. So, you have to kind of do it again this year and continue to prove yourself. I don't think you ever can settle and ever just lay back on, what you did in the past. I think that every guy in the room has to, go out there and prove himself.
Keegan, the highlight of practice today, you catching the touchdown on the trick play. When was the last time that you scored a touchdown?
I think I had one in 7th grade. Yeah, it was I was defensive lineman. They ran a little flare out, and I intercepted and ran it back for a touchdown. So that was the last time. Yeah, I've really even been close.
So it wasn't even an offensive time the last time that you scored?
Nope, it was on defense. So yeah, that was the first time I've had a touchdown offensively.
So when they have the play call in the huddle and that's going to be a little something for you there, what's going through your mind?
For me, it's just not give it away. I kind of passed that first, and let the guy beat me. So just make it not look like it's a deceptive play. And so that was the biggest thing for me because I wanted, obviously, to catch it, so I didn't want it to get defended. So just selling it.
So when the ball's coming your way, is there any, nerves? The ball's, floating in the air, you're kind of am I going to be able to haul this in? Or?
Kind of. I mean, I was just thinking just don't drop it or else people are not going to let you forget about it. So that was the biggest thing, was just looking at it and making sure I got it. So.
Keegan, how would you describe how this training camp has been for you so far?
I think it's been pretty good. I started out with a lot of center. Now I'm kind of getting some guard reps. Just see me and Herbie obviously are switching around just to get different positions. It doesn't hurt. But I think it's been pretty good for the first one. Obviously there's a lot of learning moments here and there, and listening to guys like Kelsey and Isaac and guys like that have been around and know the system. So just taking it one day at a time and just not getting tired of the process is the biggest thing I think you got to take away from it.
What are the things that those guys, those veterans, I mean, you have future Hall of Famer and Peters, all pros, all up and down the line. What are the things that those guys are telling you?
Whether it's in practice to just push through things or just go to the next play if you have a bad one. And then even in the game last week, there's a couple blitz looks here and there that they're trying to have you go one way. The defense wants you to, and they're bringing it the other way. And Kelsey's telling us, you just got to look at the backers, alignment, stuff like that. So just in-game sights like that, because Kelsey's seen it all basically. He knows how to dissect it all. So that's the biggest thing I've taken away is just listening to them and just even Coach Stout, trusting everything he tells you. Obviously, they know what to do, and if you just believe in it, you're going to be put in the right spot.
Stout was saying that he's been telling you guys, the young guys, the things to expect out there in that first preseason game, but it's until you actually see it up close and personal, you're not going to believe it. Did that come to fruition on Thursday night?
Yeah, I think so, but at the same time, Coach Stout does a great job getting us prepared. So when you get out there, you know you've seen it all before. You've seen it in practice or walk through, and you kind of know what to expect. So then you're able to go out there and kind of play free and come off the ball. So.
Does he have a certain message, a tagline that's like stuck in your head that you wake up at the hotel at night thinking, hearing Stout's voice in your mind saying something?
I know his saying is "No one man's an island. We must draw strength from each other." Is a big thing, and as an O-line, that's exactly what it is. You know, you got 5 guys up front, and especially as a center, you got to make sure everybody's on the same page. So that's the biggest thing that's resonated with me.
No jealousy amongst the linemen that you got to catch the touchdown pass there?
I don't think so, not yet at least. So, but hopefully they're all happy.